Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman here. Listen, if you like Hollywood Babble-On, I think there's an excellent chance that you would like The Ralph Report, my daily podcast, Monday through Friday. Not to mention, if you sign up now as a 4-star general supporter to The Ralph Report, you get full access to the entire back catalog of Hollywood Babble-On. A decade of Hollywood Babble-On at your fingertips for being a 4-star supporter of The Ralph Report. Want to sign up? You can find The Ralph Report on Patreon.com. Just go to www.patreon.com/The Ralph Report and sign up today.
It's time to babble the fuck on. It's Hollywood Babble-On with your hosts, Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
It's another goddamn night in Hollywood, so let's babble the fuck on. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Hey, man, we're back in the fat cave, if you will.
Yeah, after a moment there in the fresh air under the stars with our people surrounding us, now we've been shunned back underground.
We soared too close to the sun on wings of wax and semen. This is, how did you feel about the live show, Rob?
I had a stone cold blast.
Good times, right?
And I want to thank everyone out there who got in their cars and came out to join us the other night for our 10th anniversary drive-in bash. It was a thrill to be as close to being in front of you guys again as we could be. And I was trepidatious. I was nervous. I was not sure it was going to pan out. But boy, was it a blast. Had a really good time.
A good time.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the lack of seeing faces and hearing immediate laughter, is quickly replaced by the car horns.
Yes.
But then also on top of that is like, you start to find out how truly funny you are if you can hear a bunch of people laughing in a car. There were a few times where I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm hearing it, and we were pretty far away from the cars. So to hear people laughing meant they must have been really fucking rocking it.
And we're also making the crew laugh, which is always a good sign.
Very good sign.
No, they used to say on the old Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, if you had the band laughing, you were in pretty good shape. That's what I felt like. I felt like we had the band laughing once in a while.
We had them all fucking laughing, and the city of industry became the city of fucking chuckles because me and Ralph were there with Babble-On. Thanks to the good folks of the ArcLight.
Yeah.
Imagine all this time we've been going to the ArcLight for all these years and fucking never imagining one day for the 10th anniversary of Babble-On, they'd be like, we'll present it.
Never in a million years.
Nuts. Finally, get back some of that fucking ArcLight money put into it. They were very sweet. They were like, can we give out our free caramel corn? I'm like, why? Why not? Why not give out the expensive or for-profit caramel corn? But they're very sweet people. So they were great to work with. And now that you feel more comfortable, can you conceivably do this other places?
The drive-in gig?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, now I know that it works.
How far are you willing to go?
I'm willing to go...
Within state only?
No, I'll go anywhere.
Is that right?
Oh,
my God, you sound like a little whore. You're like,
I am.
I'll go anywhere. I'll do anything.
I'll go
I'll use my mouth for money. Would you get on a plane and go east at this point? Because we could sell the shit out of a fucking back east Babble-On show.
Yeah,
You'd be drawn from 3 fucking hungry states, bro. Thirsty states.
Travel still makes me a little nervous.
Safest travel at this point, gotta be air travel.
You think?
Have you heard of a single fucking case of COVID transmission on a plane? You mean to tell me in our hyped up news cycle, you wouldn't have heard about that yet? You know what I'm saying? Like if it was a problem. Plus I've had people fly and like report that, oh my God, the last place in the world you're going to get fucking COVID right now.
They're all buttoned down.
Oh, it's yes.
All right. You talked me into it.
I'm like, yes.
All right, Dr. Fauci.
You know
all the answers.
I just figured, because I was thinking about for, the movies Pop-Up is opening in New Jersey, in Red Bank. On September 14th, and I'm going to go out there for it. And so I was talking to Jen. I was like, we can get in the car and take a nice fucking 3-4 day drive across the country. And, then she was
only
like,
one of you will get out of the car if that's the case.
Yeah, I was like, it's a game show. We'll see which one survives. We'll roll cameras the whole time. Did you see this fucking movie called Spree?
No.
It's got Joe Perry Sperry. He was in
Joe Perry Carey Scary. That's a weird
how
name.
you say his name? Joe Kerr? No, that's a fucking comic book character. He's in Stranger Things. He's the Joe from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, I don't either.
Fuck, we're both fucking old men.
I know.
We have no business doing a show talking about pop culture.
And we should watch it because that's a show that takes place in our
you think
our
we'd like
prime
it.
era.
I mean, and all
I'll
this
get
time,
to it. It's always been one of those things I say I'll get to
Me
it.
as well. Okay, so he is in this movie called Spree, which I interviewed people for at Sundance. God, that seemed like a lifetime ago. Back before the COVID. And it's a story about like this, it's alienated kid who is trying to get a following on social media and then just kind of goes nuts one day. So he's a spree driver. The movie's called Spree, and it's like Uber or Lyft. It's called Spree is the service. But he goes on a fucking killing spree, and he outfits his car with GoPros and cameras that are meant to be streaming the entire experience.
Wow.
It was a really good watch. I only bring it up because I was talking about what? Fucking having a camera in the car? How'd I get to this?
You and Jen driving cross country.
Bang.
Yeah. It's the only reason I'm here. It's just to
keep me back on
keep
track.
you on track.
So, yes, but Jennifer was expressing like, well, what about flying? I was like, flying probably safer because we'd be in Jersey in fucking 4 hours, take a red eye, and fucking, you just have to sleep and pray to God nobody's got the COVID. But I don't think they let you on the plane. Like Delta won't let you on the plane without a mask, without temperature.
They'll go back to the fucking terminal if you smart off.
So my feeling is like I'm either way because I'd love a lovely long drive, just listen to fucking music and chit chat and shit like that. But I'm all for like expediting the process of getting.
Yeah, you're a road animal. You have no problem with that.
Spent so much time on the road with fucking the Reboot Roadshow tour that like when we were done, I was like, oh, thank God we were on the road for 4 months. Now I'm like,
get me out of here.
Not even that it's bad here. I like it, but it's just like I forgot like how much a part of my life that is.
Yeah.
And the trickle down of it too is also enormous. Just like if you're going to be in front of people on a regular basis, you tend to watch what you eat more.
It's true.
And the money, don't forget the money's nice, but just also like more than anything else, like a bunch of people going, very witty, Wild, very witty. This is why I fucking do this in the first place.
No, look, you know me. I love crowd.
I don't know you, Ralph. No, I do know you.
I'm a little preoccupied in the month of September, however, because I'm a movie star now.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I know the producer.
What?
I could work some fucking...
Can you pull a string or two?
Yeah, fuck. I'll get you off that set if I need you. When do you start shooting? Josh and Liv are making this movie Wrong Reasons. Josh is directing. Dr. Josh Roush, our show DJ.
Yes.
/ whatever.
The sights and sounds king of Hollywood Babble-On.
Him and his good lady wife making a picture. She's in it. Ralph is in it as well.
I am indeed.
When do you start?
I start Labor Day weekend. It's my first day on the set, as it were. And it's a great little role. I'm so thrilled that they asked me to do it. I get to play a cop and
kind of cop? Funny cop?
No,
Straight
this is a drama,
Hard
sir.
cop?
This is drama. I'm
laughs in
doing
it?
some acting.
Is that right?
Be doing some acting if I can remember how that all works.
I
It's been a
taking no
minute since
shine
I've
off
done it.
Josh in his picture, but like you did some fucking dramatic acting in Kilroy as well.
Yes, indeed. That was the first time I had to straighten up and fly right in a long, long time. So I'm looking forward to stretch some muscles I haven't had a chance to exercise in a while. But,
Do you get to curse?
oh, yeah. Yeah.
What
I play a detective who is investigating the kidnapping of a not a pop star, but a punk, female punk star.
of Liv?
Liv Roush plays. And I'm trying to, while I'm trying to solve the case, I'm also trying to better my own position. I'm kind of a wannabe media whore. And so I'm trying to play the press at the same time I'm trying to do my job. And it's a really nifty little part. I'm looking forward to it.
Speaking of media whores, Ralph.
Yes.
I hear the Riddler's back this week.
He is indeed, sir.
See that segue?
Nice seg.
If I call attention to it, though.
Hey, is my mic on, by the way? I just want to make sure. We had some complaints last time we did this.
Dive into this. Look.
That the producer of the piece neglected to turn my microphone on, so I just want to make sure.
with all due respect, kids, the last time we did this in the room, I didn't put my headphones on to double check. Ralph's mic was off.
Yeah.
Mercifully, my mic was powerful enough to pick him up.
Pick me up way, way in the back.
Ghostly Ralph. It sounded like, fucking like
sitting on your shoulder.
Or I was recording the scene in the fucking, Overlook Hotel lounge with fucking Ralph, your ghostly bartender.
Your money's no good here, Mr.
You're always good one, Ralph. Hair of the dog that bit me, Ralph. Hair of the dog that bit me. We are, yes, we're both recording. I'm going to keep nervously looking. It's one more thing to add to it. Now, for years, I've always looked away from the mic to look back to make sure we're recording.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, I've got the double added pressure of is someone else's microphone on?
Oh my God.
I should just wear the headphones.
Pressure.
But you know what? I don't wear a seatbelt. Do you?
Ever?
Do you?
Always.
Did you back in Philly?
No, not back when I was a stupid kid, but
when then?
You
when did they flip you? When did they fucking break you?
It was, speaking of cross country, it was my trip across the United States when I drove out from Philadelphia to move to Los Angeles.
And people were like, you better put on a seatbelt, boy.
It was pushed into me that if you're going to be on the open road that much, you're taking your life in your hands. Best ensure your safest arrival to your new location. That's something to live for, man.
Me too, but I drive like a,
You're not
speedy driver.
You're not cautious.
And yet
you don't wear one ever.
No. I was raised in a generation where that wasn't even the law yet.
Yeah, but we evolve, sir, and we grow and we move and we change our behaviors.
I also don't have, I have poor oral hygiene as well. So this connection, something.
What does that do with a seatbelt?
I think it's because I just don't like being told what to do. Someone's like, brush your teeth. I'm like, no. Put that seatbelt on. I'm like, no. You can get this done without your silly rules.
What is
I don't need no. I'm writing a song. Write these lyrics down. This is amazing.
What doesn't the chiming bother you, or are you one of those cats who buckles the seatbelt and then sits on top of the seatbelt?
Number one, fuck the machines. They'll never tell me what to do, so they can chime the whole fucking live long day. I will fucking outweigh. I'll just turn the music up, bro. That being said, I am the asshole that buckles it behind him.
Oh man, I know. Why? What's the motivation there? Literally, you're giving your finger to
I
whom?
don't need no.
Yeah, but who are you sticking it to? Who's the man you're sticking it to by behaving like that? The only person that you're potentially hurting is yourself.
You're right. So I'm rebelling against me. Maybe I don't like Kevin Smith. Maybe I'm like fucking a lot of the internet. I don't care for Kevin. I liked Clerks. It was fine. It was good times.
When am I going to get back to making movies like that? You ask yourself.
That's all the time.
Basis.
I'm like, fucking what? Jane Silent Bob reboot. Oh, man. And it's got his kid in it. Oh, fucking Kevin Smith. You're losing me. Yeah, no, I feel you. I too think Kevin Smith's an idiot. He's got to learn to use a seatbelt. But you know what?
For a guy who's already cheated the Grim Reaper once in a big bad way, do you really want to dangle that out there into the world and saying, well, try to kill me again?
Could be the way I'm meant to die.
Through a windshield?
Yeah.
There are better ways to go.
I'm not saying I want it, but I'm just saying it would serve me right.
If only there was some way to try to reduce the risk of that death that you don't want. If we could do one small thing that would put the odds in your favor. I'm trying to think if there's anything like that exists now.
Like if I was a rich man, there'd be a machine that would take care of this. You know what's so weird is for her whole life, I watched my kid get into my car and fucking buckle up.
Would you allow her to ride in your car without one? Yeah, you probably would. You're fucking just live and let live, dude.
I mean, I would never, come to think of it, Jason, I don't think Jason uses his seatbelt either.
I don't know if Jason Mewes would necessarily be my guide to smart living.
Josh and Liv, how dare you? Josh and
I love Jay, but
you're right. He's no paragon of virtue.
He hasn't made all the best choices.
Josh and Liv, as we drove cross country for Reboot, I guess they wore their seatbelts and stuff.
I bet they did.
I'm a real alone. Jennifer wears hers. Byron and Gail wear theirs, and they're older than me. What is my fucking problem?
I just asked that minutes ago.
Well, I corrected after the heart attack. Maybe this is something I can change too, without going through some traumatic accident to get there.
Look at you.
I'm growing, Ralph.
You are. You're seeing a little bit of the light coming through the cracks.
A very special episode of Babble-On, ladies and gentlemen. People are like, get to the Batman of it all. What the fuck?
You already said Riddler. Move on.
And then you fucking started talking about anything else. It's uninteresting. You're right. We're here for the Cape Commentaries, kids. We're going to give them to you, man. Oh,
Yeah, we are.
We're going to give them to you with a double shot of the Riddler. Pull up your episodes, my children.
This is the first return of the original Batman villain from the very first episode, Frank Gorshin reprising his role.
They
as
waited a whole
the Prince of Puzzler.
10 weeks
Yeah.
to bring him back.
Well, they
That's
knew
how
they had a
good he
good
is.
thing.
Line it up to 0-0-0, ladies and gentlemen, and press play in 3 and 2 and 1 and Batman. Is my shit not playing? Oh my God.
Oh, come on. See?
Kids.
If you had your seatbelt on, this wouldn't happen.
You're a good point. I mean, really, it's like Batman and Robin wear a seatbelt. Why?
Right? How did you not get influenced at that young age to do the right thing?
I don't know if I ever noticed that closely. That
I
they were
did.
wearing
And they had to actually add that to the series. They don't do it in the initial episodes.
right.
At some point towards the end of the first season, maybe the beginning of the second, the Highway Safety Board came to them and said, hey, guys, kids are watching at home. You'd do us a huge favor if you could just do an insert of Batman and Robin buckling their seatbelts. And they said, you're right. And so they added it later on in the show.
Fucking Ralph. There you go.
Here we go.
Is a font of knowledge when it comes to this fucker.
I'm a font.
He's the font. Hey, sit on it. When I say it, I mean my knowledge stick. And when I say knowledge stick, I mean my cock. It's full of knowledge. All right, as you just heard, we're lined up. I dare not go back a few seconds
No.
lest fucking iTunes fuck me on this. So, hey, by the way, before we dive into this, have you noticed that we've had an effect on the charts?
Yes.
We've been moving some units of Batman.
Batman the series is in the iTunes charts in a big bad way for the first time in a long time, maybe since they first were released. So I'm just saying, Warners, if you're listening,
Guarantee you could trace it back to us.
why don't you,
Guarantee. Nobody's talking about Batman 66 right now.
give the drummer some. Just
Yeah,
to
about a
wet our
little
beaks
fucking
bit.
taste over here, man. We're not talking
Not
about.
for nothing.
I don't need a Batman size check, but I'll take a little Robin.
Take an Aunt Harriet size check.
Oh yeah, good point. I'll take some of that Aunt Harriet money. You'll see my legs dangling over the fire. Legs only. They'll put a handkerchief over, man. That's how the rich live. They're stranger than us. We saw it. We saw it in that episode. Here we go, man. Just as it said, Batman. We're like 1 second.
In color.
In color just popped up on the screen. Set the stage, Ralph.
Here we are, the return of the Riddler, landing at
fucked up when
Gotham
they
City
show
International Airport.
Shit that's not shot on the sound stage.
King Boris.
Like an airplane landing. That's a lot of scope to that. Now this just looks like a fucking set. Now I remember
It is.
this guy with
and that
the
airplane
beard.
was stock footage. They didn't shoot that for this. They just pulled it. They just pulled some airport footage and cut it in.
You're really disillusioned me my whole childhood. And I'm a filmmaker, and you'd imagine I'd know that. I remember this dude with the bushy beard.
This
He's
is
got a big
actor
bushy
Reginald
beard.
Denny playing King Boris in this episode, who will return to Batman lore as
Lord
Commodore
Fogg.
Schmidlap in the Batman movie.
He was the dude on the sub.
Exactly. And he's the one they kidnapped for his...
So wait, who was he in real life?
His real name is Reginald Denny, is the actor's name. And he plays this role, King
Reginald Denny,
Boris,
wasn't that the name of the guy who got pulled out of the...
from Rodney King.
Not the same dude, obviously.
Same name, but different guy.
What else did this do?
Oh, there's
Look at
little
this.
Susie Silo. Oh, my God, I love her. I had such a crush on her back
She
in the
looks
day.
like Madeline.
She plays Mousy, the Riddler's Mall, in this particular episode.
Oh, so this is deception, right?
It is
here.
indeed.
What we saw is fucking. You can never trust a girl in a fucking schoolgirl outfit, Ralph.
Oh, I
They're
trust
always giving you exploding flowers.
Make something explode.
Oh, there.
What is a person like a piece of wood? First of many riddles we'll encounter in this episode. One famously that never gets solved, and no one ever addressed it.
Is on this episode?
It's on this episode, yeah.
Perfect timing that this episode rolls up in our cycle, Ralph, as recently at DC Fandom.
Everybody's talking Riddler.
They dropped the trailer for The Batman by Matt Reeves, and they showed us a new vision of the Riddler where he just wraps his head in plastic bags and tape or something like that. Crimson, sinister, Zodiac killer kind of version of the Riddler.
Indeed. A John Doe kind of vibe to him.
Far from Frank Gorshin.
Indeed. Although Frank Gorshin, the only Emmy nomination this series ever received was for Best Supporting Actor for Frank Gorshin for his role as the Riddler.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
He didn't win.
He did not win, no.
Man, oh man, could you imagine? Like, Gorshin must have walked around like, call the show Gorshin Man.
He did ask for a little more green, which is why we see John Astin at some point in the series.
Are you shitting me?
No,
is that what happened?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he was like, I'm entitled to more money?
When is an actor paid like a star? When he's Gaussian.
The show's not called The Riddler, bitch. It's all about the suit. Who'll fit into this? Gomez Adams. Call him.
Get Adams in here.
That's right. I forgot he came in.
Yeah.
It's
pinch hitting.
It's crazy. In childhood, they prepared us for like multiple Bonds, multiple Batmans. Like, you know, they're like, hey, man, don't get too used to, like, hey, remember Catwoman?
Yeah.
Now she's a black lady.
Right.
Hey, remember Catwoman?
It's all about the costume.
Now she's another white lady on a sub. Hey, remember Catwoman? Hey, remember Aunt Harriet? There she is.
There she is.
Look at her in all her glory. This is the episode where
flowered glory.
They shower episode, the infamous shower episode where there's a long lingering shot of Aunt Harriet
soaping us. I don't believe that's this episode.
They waited till like they were really losing ratings. They were like, you know, what didn't work was fucking Gomez Adams as the Riddler. So this week we got to go for it. Aunt Harriet, this is the week you show him. What do you mean, show him? You put him on the glass. Put him on the poles. That'd be amazing. One per. What are you talking about? You don't have a fucking Aunt Harriet impression after all this time? You can do almost everybody on the show.
Oh, my heavens.
I mean, that just sounds like a guy doing an old lady voice.
Well, that's who I am.
Do you think you have an Alfred from the show?
Not really. Not very distinctive. Sort of just that British stuff.
Rando
British. Yeah.
Why some and not others, you think? Like, how come you can do Adam West? But
I think some are much more distinctive than others.
And the British guy's not distinct?
No, he's a very...
He's spinning in his fucking British grave.
Stock character actor Brit. You saw there were a dime a dozen in Hollywood in the 40s and 50s.
Can you imagine? We just saw a trailer for the Batman and the three villains, Catwoman, Riddler, Penguin. You can trace right back to this fucking show.
That's true.
And the comics, of course. But I mean...
But the Riddler was a D-level villain when this series went on the air.
Yeah, you said this elevated.
Yeah, he hadn't even been in the comics for years. Catwoman, the same thing. They took her out because of the decency thing. They
speeding away from the scene of the crime, Ralph, where that lady rots in the atomic pile.
Stop it.
Every time they drive away, they're just driving away from the fucking murder victim. Lady is dead. They're going into the police station. You think they're going to bring it up? 10 weeks ago. Last time the Riddler was in town.
Batman, I have a question for you. Whatever happened to that Riddler's moll that found her way into the Batcave? Well, Commissioner, it's not really important.
Wouldn't it be amazing if they addressed in this episode that he had a new moll?
Yeah, really.
And he's like, you know what happened to her? She died in your cave.
Whatever happened to Molly, Batman?
He's like, oh, God. They found the skeleton in my closet. Everyone thought it was the boy. He was the lightning rod. I put him up front so people would look at that and not look too deeply at that or Aunt Harriet.
By the way, when is a person like a piece of wood? When they're a ruler, King Boris just came to Gotham. Boom.
It's good. It's good, but it's a riddle that only works like back then because you can make a ruler out of a lot of things.
That's true, I suppose.
Plastic, motherfucking. There's like dick-shaped rulers and made of plastic. I mean, I guess I'm just saying they don't make them out of wood anymore. You know, the riddle that they put into the movie into the trailer for the Batman. He opens up the fucking card, and there's on Reddit, they've deciphered it already. Do you think Matt Reeves is like, oh my God?
We talked about this at the drive-in.
We did.
We did, yes.
Let's redo the bit.
I do think he's probably bummed.
It's got to be, right? Oh my God, did we already cover that at the drive-in? Mm-hmm. Fandom happened before because we did the drive-in on Monday, and it
was after
Thursday.
The weekend, yeah. We're recording this on Thursday.
Oh my God, I'm like, what is he talking about? And then I'm like, wait, did we? And then I'm like, we did.
We did, yeah. Because we showed the trailer.
That's right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back to this episode.
No, fuck this episode. So they figured out the fucking riddle.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
You mentioned that at the drive-in show. I remember you saying that to me as if it was days ago.
A mere 72 hours back. What is going on in this episode, Ralph?
Okay, well...
Is that Michael Parks?
No. So they're at the Miss Galaxy beauty pageant, of which King Boris is one of the judges, and Batman has figured out there's more than one ruler. There's King Boris, of course, he's a ruler, but maybe the queen, the beauty queen, is the clue that the Riddler has laid in front of them, because there is a jeweled crown involved in crowning Miss Galaxy, that maybe he's after that. So they have staked out the Miss Galaxy competition in hopes of getting their gloved hands on that Prince of Puzzlers, the Riddler.
Well put. And once again, just almost like the first appearance, there is no Riddler to be seen thus far. There's a lot of fucking jaws.
You just wait.
A lot of jaws, a lot of fucking, we keep hearing about the crime, and we don't see the shark until like midway through the picture.
Man, when I was a kid, this was about as good as it got. 60s broads with hips
look
and
at those
boobs.
one pieces.
It made me nuts. I still to this day love that body shape. It's just, that's my thing.
Man, she's tan, huh?
Yeah, she is. Stock footage?
I wonder if I knew that this was stock footage as a kid. Did I get a sense of like, they're in two different places? Whenever I watch old shows, like,
there he is.
Oh, fine. And what a fucking, what
and
the?
He grabs a kiss as well as the tiara. Boom, gone. Batman and Robin just stand there with their dicks in their hands. Nice work. Nice work, fellas.
They don't even make it all the way up to the stage. Nope. Like, holy shit, did you see that? Did you see that?
We just got worked.
And we knew he was coming, and still.
Yeah, but they did put a tracer in the tiara.
I mean,
smart crime fighters that they are.
But like, they don't address like the harrowing fucking after effect, the trauma left.
Sexual assault.
Yes, the woman in the bathing suit is just like, why me? Why did he kiss me? Why do I attract all the fucking terrible people?
I loved this when the Batmobile would do stuff like that antenna going up.
I like when the bad guys come out the sewers, because that's where they belong, Ralph.
He was there in the first episode too, if you remember.
Which is so weird.
He goes underground again.
You don't really think about, like, what does a Riddler do? He goes underground.
What room can no one enter? Figure it out.
And once again, these two are fucking dumbfounded. They're not racing to, like, fucking catch him or follow him down the man. Now they get out of the car after all that
to retrieve the crown with the homing device, but now they can't trace him because he threw it back.
You don't have to trace a guy who is literally 6 feet in front of you who just closed the sewer.
They're busy listening to the riddle. See, this is the riddle that never gets solved in this episode.
What is it?
What is the beginning of eternity, the end of time? I forget the rest of it. The finish to every race and something else.
A newspaper. Aren't most riddles the answer is a newspaper? What is black and white and red all over? The diamond tiara wasn't what he was really after. Hey,
it's so weird. They set that
a little less
in such a big
fucking
way,
discussion, a
and
little
they never
more
pay it off.
Jump in the sewers, you fucks.
Now they're going to solve the riddle instead.
What did that? So what? They just put the antenna up, and that gave you the jollies?
Yeah. Anytime the Batmobile did something special, like when the the Bat Ram came out, or when the Chain Cutter came out, or any of the Batmobile gadgets, I was like, oh, that's the best thing ever.
Agreed. But that fucking antenna came up just so they can track the device that
the homing device, yeah, but he threw it back, so it's pointless.
So they're busy.
But that also doubles as the Bat Ray in other episodes, and that's just a cool little thing. You have to remember, power antennas weren't even a thing back in the 60s. So when I saw that as a kid in the 70s, we still didn't have a power antenna.
We're like 11 and almost 12 minutes into the episode, Ralph.
Yes.
We saw the Riddler, titular villain, for approximately, would you say, 6 seconds?
Maybe more, maybe 12.
I mean, what a cushy gig. Why would he have asked for more money?
Because he was an Emmy-nominated actor of some value.
I mean, what is wrong?
He set the pace and the tone for every villain that followed.
Yeah, but
still, he had some value.
He does, but like that's why we keep bringing you back, and you're honored by your
$500 a week or something, whatever it was.
Is that what they pay?
Yeah.
Is that a fucking?
It's a cheese cutter.
Oh,
the River Rat gang.
Oh, so that's what he's doing in the sewers.
Yes, he's working with his gang.
Look at these fuckers, like living in sewers and
yeah.
shit. This is straight out of fucking Nolan's Dark Knight Rises, right?
Yep.
Bane was living in the sewers and shit. It'd be amazing if the Riddler shoots a guy and throws him into the fucking... And this is the replacement mall?
Yes. And that was the same girl who gave King Bars the flowers dressed as a schoolgirl
like
in the beginning. Yes. She wasn't Madeline. She was just a schoolgirl.
Dressed like Madeline. What is... look at her, man. Look, she's so... There's always some girl who's happy to be involved with the riffraff.
Girls like the bad boys, Kevin. You know that.
She's like... But this guy ain't even bad. He's just badly dressed. And like, don't you question your relationship when your boyfriend brings you into the sewer?
No.
No, cool. You like that? You're like, I guess he knows what he's
cool.
doing.
He's got a cool hangout.
I'd be like, it smells like shit down here, and you're wearing a leotard. Did you question your life goals at any point? Why are you dragging me into this? Riddle me this. Why should I give a fuck? Why am I in the sewer?
There's one of the River Rat gang. They've infiltrated the Royal Mushroom Club.
I always hated when they had scenes with people talking and none of them were Batman.
My God, you're a
But,
screenwriter and a wordsmith. You would think you'd appreciate performance and dialogue.
No, I just wanted heroes and villains. But I did like when they had this dude and he had the beard. That did keep me interested as a kid
because he had a beard.
Yeah, kind of like, well, he's doing something here. I mean, I tuned in for the comic book. I didn't come in for the fucking realism. I was fucking 5, Ralph. I wasn't looking for Chris Nolan or fucking Fincher.
Look, he's being ratty.
That's his thing.
Yeah,
he's going to give himself away.
Plus, God, this is the Royal Mushroom Club, Kevin.
Walking into rooms.
Let's flash back to that riddle. What kind of room can no man enter?
A mushroom.
A mushroom. See, if you paid a little more attention to the dialogue and the scenes with Talkie Talk, you would have been ahead of Batman and Robin on this one.
If they had just jumped into the sewer, episode be over. They'd be beating them up. We'd be zip bam powing already, man. And then some unfortunate chick would be falling into a second atomic pile.
There's always a bigger plan behind the Riddler's riddles and his schemes, and if you catch him too soon, you can't see the bigger picture.
So it's a riddle wrapped inside a mystery trapped in an enigma?
No. It's just a riddle a day keeps the Riddler away.
Enigma?
As long as the riddles keep coming, the Riddler's plan has not yet been fully revealed.
Here's my guess on the Paul Dano Riddler. His name is not Edward Nigma.
No. I don't think it isn't even in the it's Nashton now, isn't the comics, isn't it?
It was also Eddie Nigma.
Yeah, I remember originally, yeah.
But I think they'll go with Kevin Spacey in 7, John Doe kind of thing. Like, why would you want to know that guy's name?
Right.
Makes him more terrifying. Although the story they're telling is, I guess, about some hidden truths about Gotham.
Yes.
So maybe he's got to be tied to those truths.
Maybe.
Like, I'm your long-lost brother. That's when I'm like, fuck this.
Maybe he's, who is it, Tommy whatever, who...
from
Hush.
Hush.
Yeah.
This is tough to be the Riddler. You got to plan everything in advance.
You got to write all those riddles too.
Yeah, you got to get screen printed and shit. Like, because that ain't just hand drawn.
No, you got to get.
He probably went into a print shop, and the printer's always just like, "What are these for?"
He went to his local Kinko's and said,
I need a banner that reads, what? How much dirt is in a 2-acre hole?
Feel like I don't know about Kinko's. This motherfucker's kinky.
"Ba-dum-bum."
He always comes in with these riddles. We don't know what they're for, man. We talk about him. He leaves. We're like, what does he do? He's got a wife, a girlfriend. Who are these for? And then when the crimes happen, they're like,
"Oh shit!
oh my God, we know who did that."
We should have called the GCPD."
And then he comes in again, and nobody fucking does anything because they're like, well, I guess we were wrong.
Plus, we need the business.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotham City Kinko's was not that
in
busy.
1965, nobody knows what our thing is.
Nobody's making copies. Nobody's asking for printers.
It's going to be years before. Look at this, man. They're showing you some topography.
Yeah.
Gotham City plans and views. A whole computer just for that.
Yes.
Long before Google, kids, each subject had its own computer.
And everything that came on the screen was just a barely recognizable artist rendering of something instead of a photograph.
Looked like something from that Fisher-Price toy where the fucking cow jumps over the moon, like that little TV screen. that
Oh,
plays
there's
ding,
the
ding,
obsolete Gotham City water and power plant.
ding. That's where you find the riffraff, Ralph. Never mind the river rats. Never mind the sewers. That's where you find the riffraff.
Yep.
Generally speaking, in your abandoned places. Oh, look at this chick. Speaking of riffraff.
Yeah, anything that's condemned or abandoned is a pretty good hangout for a criminal.
Nice match of her pants to his, mask. What's her character's name?
Mousy. Mousy of the River Rat Gang.
All right.
Actress
so she's
Susan
more
Silo.
She's
Very
more
talented
with
actress. Did a lot of voiceover work too, by the way.
She's more with those guys than him.
She's part of that gang, but I think she's wanting a little.
Is he the head?
She's
of
wanting
the
a little
River Rat?
Riddler's question mark, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, she's the period.
It's the period on his question mark.
He's like, there's no period about it, and even when there is, I don't care. I like it messy. Oh, finally, fucking
Yes.
put a little step into it.
Well, it's because now Riddler has King Boris taken captive.
No, now it's
an
because they
international
know we're getting
incident.
to the end of the episode, so they're fucking pacing it up a little bit. Now they're putting some spring in it.
I love it when they had the nighttime scenes and Batman would wrap himself in his cape. You almost
they're
never saw that stuff.
Literally in the back lot. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was chilly, right? He's like,
No, he's undercover.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna go. We're gonna see
We're
it.
going to do a little walking. Little wall
How does it
walking.
begin? Oh, that's how it begins. We cut away, and then we just have you guys enter the frame. This influenced all of my filmmaking. You watch this show, you're seeing my cinematography. I keep shit simple. Have them enter the frame, have them leave the frame. Go give me a stock footage shot of an airport in the 50s.
Give me a gesture I can cut away to the next scene.
No guest yet? Have they done anybody in the windows yet?
Not yet, no. That's added later. Once the show became a hit and everyone started clamoring to be a guest star, that's when they started adding the window appearances.
But they did windows before they had famous people. Like, I remember they did windows with non-famous people every once in a
It
while.
was always friends of the producers.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So the people are like, geez, it's Batman and Robin. Like
Yes.
at a party scene or some such
And it would be like the Carpet King, like some guy who owned a chain of carpet stores in America, who was a friend of Bill Dozier's, or Susie Knickerbocker, the gossip columnist from the New York Post or whatever. It'd be sometimes people.
Payola.
They'd be hard to recognize.
It's a good idea, man.
Doing favors.
Yeah, fucking he ain't no dummy. He's like, you know who wrote about the show? Susie, whatever the fuck. Mousy, whatever the fuck. Look at this, man. Wearing the outfits. Like young Kev, so happy to see it go from a 2-shot of Batman and Robin to a single of the Riddler. The only thing better than this is if they all start punching one another. I was not a kid that looked forward to the death traps.
Oh,
Didn't
really?
want to see him. Yeah, didn't want to see him in danger.
I loved it.
Also went counter to the, like, I'm like,
That
this,
close, super close up. I
yeah,
love
it's
that.
a really nice close up. What would one, like, you know, I come to see Batman. I don't want to see Batman get hurt.
But don't you want to see how clever he is to get out of it?
I know he's clever. You don't have to prove it to me week after week.
Wow.
That was my least favorite part of the episode, especially because it meant the episode was coming to an end.
That's true.
But also just like, no, man, fucking, he's the best at everything. How the fuck is he getting caught? And then thrown into these fucking ridiculous jams.
Because he's just a dude, man. He's not Superman. See? Like that net comes down with super quick drying epoxy on it.
All right, imagine
and they hit him with a fan, and now they can't get out.
Fucking Batman getting hit by that net and some of this fucking a fan and glue.
Yes. Now they're caught in a sticky trap.
That actually does look kind of terrifying.
Yes.
Oh my God, they look like a David Cronenberg afterbirth. Riddler apparently building an art project out of his arch enemies, Batman and Robin. God,
this death trap is awesome.
Suit's amazing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like here. Let me take you back to 1965. Imagine everything happened to me with Clerks and shit happened a few years, like maybe 1955.
Right.
So by the time this rolls around, I've been on the scene for like 10 fucking years and shit. People know I like comic books. So, you know, somebody's like, let's build Dozier. It's like, let's reach out to that Clerks guy. He likes comic books and he could be the Riddler. And they hire me to play the Riddler instead of Gorshin and shit. And I go in there and I'm ready to do it. And then they show me that leotard. I'm like, I can't wear that. Like, do you have an overcoat? I need layers. I can't fucking, that's unforgiving. Like, nobody's going to take me seriously as a criminal. They're just going to be like, he needs help. Like, I'm quitting. And I'd walk away.
Wow.
And it probably hurt my
the opportunity
career.
of a lifetime and an Emmy nomination.
It's true. But, you know, I'm the same guy who hasn't gone in to, you know, get my colon checked. I'm 50 years old.
That's true.
Because I'm terrified of what they might find.
Yeah, you don't like partial nudity, let alone.
I'm the guy who admittedly just said he don't wear a seatbelt. Obviously, I'm not fucking thinking straight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Gorshin was rail thin. He could get away with this outfit.
Yeah.
When you see Ashton, you know he's a little paunchier, but you're right. It's unforgiving. Even if you have a couple extra pounds, you're looking not good.
Yeah, not many people.
Gorshin didn't care for it either. You know,
that's why he wanted.
That's why he wanted the suit. Yeah.
Look at that, man.
But they used to ask him because he moved so nimbly on the show. They said, "Are you a dancer?" And he said, "No, I looked at myself in the mirror in that leotard, and I said, I better keep moving. I don't want to give them an easy target."
So that's
just
why
the
he's
public in general
constantly on the move.
Look at this, centrifuges.
And what is the idea here?
That eventually those gears will spin so quickly that their flesh will be ripped for their bones.
Sometimes the mask is on, sometimes not.
Gorshin also didn't like the mask because he wanted his face on camera. He wanted to be front and center.
Boy, do you think like every episode, Dozier was like, "You fucking
just keep the mask on, would you, Frank?"
It's
Jesus.
like you're in the episode 6 minutes of 25. Keep the mask on, you fucking
be
baby.
The guy.
Yeah, I didn't buy this as a kid. This didn't seem very harrowing. I wasn't like, oh my God, they're gonna fucking spin to death.
Have you ever been spun around a couple times?
No.
Doesn't feel so good.
Well, I mean, so what? Like, that's it. The choice between, oh, the Riddler shoots me in the fucking neck or spine or fucking brain, and, oh, the Riddler's going to spin me, like, you know, as if I'm at fucking Six Flags. It's an easy choice, Ralph.
Great adventure.
Yes. And not quite the end of an episode either, for my money. Like, if I was
spun to death, I think is pretty harrowing.
If I was in charge, I would have kicked this one back. I would have been like, come on.
God.
Like, yeah, but it's easy to make, and imagine it'll look cool with them, like, turning it upside down and shit. But, like, just come on. How come...
Coming from comic books where giant typewriters were a danger.
I'd say,
and you're worried about the centrifugal force rendering someone limb from limb?
Give me a big clam that's going to eat him.
We're working on that. We got that in a later episode.
That fucking still haunts me to this day. That's a fucking death trap. I'll never forget that. Like, that haunted me as a child where I'm like, they're dead. Robin's dead. Like, fucking...
There's no coming back from a clam.
Like, he ate him. Like, they got fucking eaten alive. Remember those two crime fighters? The dynamic duo? Remember how they beat, like, the Joker and the Penguin and Catwoman, King Tut, Egghead, everyone? He got eaten by a fucking clam. He got clammed to death, man. And then next week they were like, "Nang,"
because clams digest their food very slowly, Kevin. They don't have any teeth.
in
They
1965.
don't swallow. They don't have stomachs.
They predated Jason Mewes by saying, Nang. Snooch of the nooch. And then he comes out
I believe Dozier, as the narrator, actually says that in the episode.
Do you think
Snooch to the nooch.
in the reality of the show,
Yes.
does Dick ever eat clams again, or does he only eat clams the rest of his life?
He's getting revenge.
I mean,
forever.
they're in the vengeance business. Every night, they're out there getting vengeance. Him, like, my parents got killed too. So he's mad.
Yes.
So he ain't just like eating Clams Casino. He's like, somebody puts Clams Casino in front of him. He's like, Clams Casino. It had to be Clams Casino. They put Clams Casino in front of him. He's just like, ooh, I love it. He's eating off your plate. He's like, leave none behind. Eat and fucking digest.
Crush the shells.
Shit all of them out, because that's what they would have done to me. They were going to eat me. Me! Fucking Dick.
Holy vengeance, Alfred. Clam chowder every day for lunch.
Batman's like, I like that intensity.
Good for you, old chum.
That's what it sounds
That's why I
like.
murder women in the bat cave.
Yeah, one per season.
My mother left me.
And Harriet's next. That was a riddle a day keeps the Riddler away.
It was.
So part 2 can only be
Episode 12.
when the rat's away,
The mice will
pray. Pray.
And we will see King Boris looming large in this story here.
Man in color. So we're rolling, kids. I already pressed play.
B-roll. Previously on Batman.
The flashbacks that freeze.
Yes.
There she goes, Madeline. Back to Paris. Somebody got decapitated. When is a person like a piece of wood, as Ralph told us, when he's a ruler?
Exactly.
Batman
He or
and Robin
she.
speeding from the scene of the crime. Batman distracting from the fact that he murdered a woman 10 weeks ago in his Batcave.
Oh, 60s girls.
There's the chick. That's the lady that came out of the atomic pile. She was burned.
A great tan from radiation.
And she was surprised to see her ex-boyfriend.
Someone owns
Riddler.
that telephone book, by the way.
You can
Makes
find
me
it?
crazy.
In real life?
The prop telephone book that says it's a Gotham City phone directory on it and everything. So there's a guy who owns it. Makes me nuts every time I see it online.
Is it just a phone book that
they dummied up? The art department dummied up the cover, but it's the screen
original
used yellow pages.
what does it go for these days?
I don't know what the guy paid for it. I just know I don't have it.
Soon it will be yours.
Someday.
Put that intention out into the universe. Here we go. I'm going to spin you to death.
Kind of homoerotic that the two men blindfolded and tied up. It's a little...
With their packages on full display. If you went and sucked them off right now...
Oh, come on.
Think about it, dude. It's just
I don't want to think about
the
it.
dick is going round and round. You ain't doing no work. You just have to just hold your mouth there. You're like a washing machine.
Like a pottery wheel.
Totally. Oh my God, that's hot.
Now you're interested in that
I
doom
am.
chat.
Now I think about it, I'm like, I could see somebody being on one of them circles with a hard dick and being like, yeah, there's that. How does he get out of it, Ralph? Spoilers.
I'm not telling.
Come on.
Nope.
There's the penguin right there, man.
Yeah. I always wondered who the guy in the hood was. Looks like a Klan member. I always wondered who that guy was
Who do you think he was supposed to
the
be?
animation. I don't know. I don't even remember him from the comics. And I read a ton of reprints and stuff, comics from the 50s and 60s, and I don't recognize that villain at all.
I mean,
The dummies they've got strapped to these wheels were a little distracting for me.
you know what we got to do?
What?
Another fucking Batman 66 series.
Write a story for that hooded
just
guy?
for that hooded guy. That's, and then you tell that whole story, and then it ends with that image from the
With him
credits.
running with a bunch of other villains and getting beat up?
No, just that image that everybody knows. Because so many people like you and I were like, who is that? Mm-hmm. Who's the hooded guy? So you tell a story of the hooded guy in comic book form. And it is a racist story. It's like a story you couldn't do back then.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
It'd be dope, man. Where Batman and Robin, they just did that. Superman fights the Klan.
Yeah, right.
Same fucking thing. Like Batman and Robin fight racism.
That would be
destroy,
awesome.
wreck racism, solve racism. There you go. Promise high hopes. You want to talk about homoerotic? Now turn the thing on. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. Oh, thirsty. Gotta have it. Oh my God, if anyone takes their picture now.
That's one of the scenes that Burt Ward's penis looked too big for the Catholic League of Decency. And they
This one here?
Yeah, when he was strapped to that thing.
And blindfolded.
Yes.
The whole thing is pretty fucking hot.
Bulge in his shorts.
Where's some? All you need is some Bronski beat playing in the background. Turn away, run away, turn away, run away.
They got it out.
They got what?
They got out of the Doom Trap.
I mean, well, duh. This ain't no giant clam, for God's sakes. Spinny wheels.
Got out his cutting torch from his utility belt.
Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
We didn't quite see that, did we?
No. They kind of explained it away.
Exposition is Batman's 66's superpower.
It is. It's the biggest weapon in his utility belt.
Hate to be this guy, but you know what? It's a complete absence of Anne Harriet in this episode thus far.
She doesn't loom large in this episode, no.
Or many, for that matter. Hey!
He's in the suit.
Yeah, man. I wonder how he makes his choices. When's it okay to wear the suit in the sewer, and when is it more preferable to wear the tights?
I think he asks for the suit all the time, and the producers give him one scene per.
With the suit?
Yeah, just
And
to
the rest is
placate him.
tights?
Yeah, they like the tights. Well, that suit is bitching.
It's a great suit, but I mean, it never plays into the story. Like, I'm wearing this because I'm going out to a restaurant.
Going out dancing?
Yeah, I'm going to a
It's got
formal.
question marks all over it. He's not being secretive.
I mean, it's a lot of layers for the sewer. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's why he's taking his coat off. It's hot down there.
Look at her, man.
Yeah,
she's not dressed for the sewer either.
She's a dish.
None of this makes sense, Ralph. These people aren't
But
like.
they've got furniture down there too, Kevin. They've
I
outfitted
buy that.
it.
People throw out furniture all the time. Probably winds up down in the sewer and shit. But what I don't look is, what is this guy playing like kind of character?
He's a rat.
Is he acting like a rat? He's
Yeah,
like,
they all act like rats.
hey, boss. Hi, boss. The Penguin, Mr. Freeze, the Joker.
He's gloating in the fact that he was able to kill Batman and Robin. Although they never stick around to make sure the job is done, if you'll notice.
How awesome that he referenced those other villains, though. And he said Mr. Freeze. Oh, so we've seen everyone he
He's
referenced.
only
already.
referenced villains that have appeared so far, yeah. Didn't bring up Zelda, though, interestingly enough.
I mean, fucking better.
Zelda, the magician, who wasn't very interesting.
Better left unsaid. I'm telling you, the best thing comes out of that whole episode is that David Lynchian fucking image of her dangling over the fire, feet licking at her fire as they fucking dance back and forth as she pedals in the air, while that fucking Zelda knits one, pearls two in the foreground. Look at these cats, man. Fucking so
They're all eating
racist
cheese, too.
Racist and stereotypical to be like, they're all in hoodies. They must be criminals. And that's crazy, man. Like, who knew they had hoodies in 1966?
See? Show was ahead of its time.
It really was. They're like,
And they have rats
these,
on their hoodies, which I love.
They have these things. They're called hooded sweatshirts. What if we had you wear them and we zip
Seems
them
like
all the
low
way up?
lifes would wear those.
Yeah, these cats were out of touch.
Yeah.
They went to shoot the episode. Half the crew was wearing them. Why are they dressed like the river rats? Now,
They're extreme close-up. I love those.
would you pay
Down the barrel.
for a used river rat
Yes.
hoodie?
Yes. Anything that came off of this set, I would pony up good cash for.
Anything that came off of that set?
If
you
I had it.
Come on. What is, would you wear the hoodie?
No.
What are you, nuts? You got a hoodie that nice, you're not going to wear it? What a conversation piece it is.
You put it in a
People are
case,
like, what is
man.
that? Is that the hundreds? And you're like, no, man, I bought this from Batman 66. Like, is that a new line of clothing? And you're like, no, from the TV show Batman. Don't you remember the River Rats? They're like, no.
Was that the Irish guy who used to dance with those girls?
Yeah, that's River something.
River Dance.
River Dance. What do they do there again? Yeah,
So
man.
King Boris is free, but it's not over yet.
Why
man.
was he captive?
Well, you'll see. They gave him back his beloved Statue of Liberty trinket that he's donating to the Gotham City Museum, if that means anything to you.
There he is. There's your boy. Your boy, my boy, all our boy.
The Queen of
Great.
Freedom, that's what it's called. Not the
great Adam
Statue of
West.
Liberty, but in essence.
I wonder if that was the name of the statue in Batman Forever. Remember, because the
Oh,
helicopter
yeah,
goes
right.
into the version of the Statue of Liberty.
I don't know what they called it, if they did.
If it was Queen of Freedom, it'd be a nice little fucking nod, right? I love in episodes when they did the bat poles twice. Now, granted, we only did it in the first episode and shit, but I loved in some episodes.
Yeah,
where,
anytime the bat poles came into play.
yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And the fucking, get them out of those normal outfits. Put them in their fucking costumes. So the moment they reached for that Shakespeare head, I came like they were reaching for my head because I was like, oh, they're going to put on the suits and fight crime.
There it is.
There what is, Ralph?
The Gotham City Museum of Fame.
Another blank set like a fucking Beckett film.
And it is set in the crown of the Queen of Freedom, a.k.a. the Statue of Liberty in Gotham City.
Oh, is that where we're meant to be?
Yes. At the top of it.
Where's the stock footage shot?
Well, they can't show it because then it would be too identifiable. But it's just, they give us the gist, if you will.
And they just expect us all to make the leap that, like, oh, this is the Statue of Liberty.
Well, we know there are statues in the world, right? So in Gotham City, they have a statue of the Queen of Freedom. That actor's name is Marvin Miller.
I believe Queen of Freedom is who Batman and Robin fight in next week's episode.
I don't believe
isn't that right?
so.
She's a contemporary
There's
of
the
Zelda
torch.
the Great. Oh, it's a replica of the Queen of Freedom's torch?
Yep.
Looks oddly familiar.
It's a gesture of friendship between the two countries.
And what nationality is King whatever?
King Boris, I forget. He's the king of, I forget what his country's name is. I should know as the expert, but it's eluding me at this moment.
I mean, that's how you,
If they
that's how you
do,
get
they
Ralph and
mention
Bar
it.
trivia. You got to ask King Boris.
What was
questions.
King Boris's country?
Ralph's like, fuck. I know some. And then when he loses the fucking match, he drinks real heavily in the bar that night. And he's just beating himself. Just like, what the fuck?
I love when they do the tour, though. They do the tour of the Gotham City Museum of Fame. It's the Gotham City Commodity Exchange Building.
It's an awfully detailed model.
It is. And I always wanted him to talk about that bell because I always thought, oh, is that the Liberty Bell just like in Philadelphia?
And you're like, Philadelphia, that's where I live.
There's the Joker's statue, by the way, that
Repainted.
they reuse about 18 times in this series, but it's not the Joker in this one. And then, of course, the portrait of Batman and Robin. And as a kid, I was like, I want that for my wall so much.
It's got to exist somewhere, right?
Well, it doesn't because you'll see later on why it
Oh,
doesn't.
they burst through it.
How dare you?
I mean, it comes flooding back to me and fucking, it's weird. Watching this with you, watching these episodes, it's like, oh, I'm remembering shit. Recovered memories.
This portrait
I don't remember this, though.
This
Honestly,
portrait
my whole childhood I
was
remember.
a coveted item for me, but also the stamps that came out of Colonel Gum's stamp machine.
Yes, like Green Hornet.
Green
too.
Hornet and Kato. I was like, oh man, that's so bitchin'. They should
I
make a
can't believe
poster
in the
of
world
that.
of all merchandise they make, they don't sell that giant door coverings. That
You remember
are
the
like,
6-foot posters you used to be able to send away for in the back of comic books and stuff and
Fuck
everything?
yeah.
That would have been tits.
What lot are they on? Because that's definitely the
That's
lot.
Fox.
With a 15-mile-per-hour speed limit sign.
Yeah.
This guy's
The
like,
back-
I was just
back-
on my way up
the back
to
entrance to the police headquarters.
up to
Because the front entrance is on the Warner's lot, so they only did the back entrance on the Fox lot.
I was on my way up to the studio chief's office. And, I wonder who's. I mean, who can you name someone who? I was on my way up to Daryl Zanuck's office. Is that the guy?
He's
who
Fox, yeah.
was trying to pull one famous fucking Fox executive?
Yes, indeed.
Most famous one of all. As you can tell, kids, as excited as I am to watch this, I'm also fucking baked off my ass. So
The heck you say?
Yeah.
No one could tell.
I think it's only fair to tell the audience I like to smoke marijuana. And
You're coming clean, are you?
Sometimes do it before, during, and after the show.
You got to smoke at the drive-in. I've never seen you happier.
Every show should be like that.
No.
The only thing I would change, we do it going forward, is I'd put us under the screen next time. That way we're at least looking at all the cars.
Yeah.
And they don't put their headlights on because they can't because of the screen. So
Right.
it's a matter of running some cable, but I think that's the way to do it. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing at the drive-in.
So the Riddler is threatening to blow up the Queen of Freedom Monument unless he is paid a handsome ransom.
No.
And they got to figure out how to stop it before it's all over. How could he possibly get a bomb up there? No one can think of it.
A bomb up where?
Up the top of the Queen of Freedom Monument.
Autogyro?
Nope.
Rocket?
Nope. You have to remember the Riddler was in the clutch. The King Bars was in the clutches of the Riddler.
Yeah.
And the Riddler graciously gives him back that model that he gave to Gotham City to keep there in the museum at the top of the Queen of Freedom.
Right.
So
Oh.
he swapped it out, son.
It's shocking that the Dark Knight detective himself, the world's greatest detective, didn't figure this one out yet. It's going to take him a minute, though.
But thank God philanthropist Bruce Wayne is willing to pay the ransom.
Look at Chief O'Hara cucking it out in the back. He's like, I like that they're friends.
My man.
Oh, shit.
What?
First time?
What's happening?
This is the first time they did it on the show.
No, we've seen 6 of them with Mr. Freeze.
But I mean, the first time where somebody is in front of Commissioner Gordon and Chief O'Hara.
Yes.
Pretending to be. So
See,
who?
And this is what I would look like in the Batman costume. This is why I didn't play Batman.
Who is that?
He's one of the River Rats.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I thought this was one of those things where Batman is trying to convince Commissioner Gordon that him.
No,
and
this
Bruce
guy
Wayne
was
are
sent
people.
by the Riddler to mess with Commissioner Gordon's mind.
Now, granted, we listened to it with the sound down. So, how is he doing an Adam West impression?
Not really, no.
So he's just talking.
Yes, but he is doing the best he can.
Fucking put that on the dude's gravestone. He's doing the best he can.
Could. Rest in peace.
High praise. Fucking look at that Commissioner Gordon actor, just really committing.
Yep.
Is he wearing Adams?
Yeah, that's Adam's.
Is it really?
Togs, yeah. Well, I mean, they had 6
Multiples?
or 7, yeah. So they would just. It might have been a Hubie Kearns. It might have been a stunt double costume, but they were all pretty much the same.
What is the fucking premise here that he is? Why isn't Bruce Wayne going? Who are you? And I know you're not Batman.
Because then how would Bruce Wayne know that?
Because he's
Wouldn't it be pretty much exposing himself in that case?
Isn't there some device he could click on his pocket where Robin shows up and fucking we can wrap this episode up? Because
Plus, he's got to figure it out. What's going on here? Why would the Riddler send a fake Batman to give the particular rules of the exchange, of the money exchange?
I recall as a kid being upset that someone was impersonating Batman.
Really?
Yeah, like that's not fair. Like you can't do that.
Life isn't fair, Tiger.
I didn't know that yet. I was
Someone
5 or
should have
6
told
years
you.
old, and I was a Catholic. So I thought there was always justice and reward and shit like that. But it just didn't seem fair that anybody could just put on the cowl and pretend to be Batman. That's why I like the other Batman, the one in the comics and the movies. You can't nobody could pull off the scene that they just did.
There were plenty of duplicate Batman in the comics. Lots of stories about fake Batmen.
All right, maybe in the comics. But you can't.
All
they
the
never
time.
did it in the movies
No, not in the movies, no.
because it's a ridiculous premise. Like, think about it.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's so likely. If someone puts on that costume, who's going to doubt that it's Batman?
I mean, anybody who's been punched by the real Batman would be like,
Batman's so mysterious that
That ain't
in the
him.
movies you see him even less than you do in the series. Anybody shows up in that costume, you would think it was the dude.
you think we see Batman less in the series than in the movie?
No, I think you see him less in the movies than you do in the series.
Oh, I agree. Look at
so
that.
if he
How
showed
fun
up,
did that look?
if he showed up in a costume in the movies, it would be an easy way to fool people.
Robin's like, I think I see a body down there. Robin, get off of that. He's like, I'm going to have to
Still-
push him into the atomic
I
pile.
still smell redhead up here, Batman.
Yeah. She's dead. Ew, I saw her. She's dead and she was looking at me, Bruce. He never calls him Bruce down the Batcave.
No.
right? Only Batman. Because, all those people listening. Like Chief O'Hara was like, you get out of here. I'm the other white guy. You don't
I'm the only
you don't
guy
get to
in
be
uniform.
Here. Yeah, fucking it's me and what's Commissioner Gordon's name?
Jim?
No, in real life.
Oh, Neil Hamilton.
It's me and Neil, man. We got this. Me and Neil are the fucking just how Batman and Robin are the leads. Me and Neil are like right under
We're the
that.
Batman and Robin of The Office.
Yeah, man, of the cops and kids love cops. They're like, and what? Alfred and fucking Ann Harriet are the Batman and Robin of Wayne Manor?
Yes.
Well, then wouldn't Batman
they
and Robin?
checked off that riddle about the beginning of eternity, but they never showed us how they solved it, and it plays no role in the story whatsoever.
I'm telling you, it's Lynchian. That's David Lynchian right there. He's fucking with your head and shit.
They cut
Suddenly
something
they
out.
cut to a scene
There
where
was a scene
little guy's like,
out.
let's rock. The gum you like is going to come back
The
in.
answer is he begins eternity and is the end of time.
Props to Burt Ward for sliding down that fucking ladder.
Kid was an athlete.
Yeah, man.
He was a martial artist. He was a professional ice skater when he was 2 years old. Burt Ward.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What do you mean professional?
He worked in the ice capades when he was 2 years old.
So this kid was in the entertainment business even before he was in the entertainment business.
And he was a legit
He was
athlete.
a show kid.
Yeah.
One of them show kids. Same shot? No, it had to be a different shot, right?
Yeah, they reshot it.
So you could
for that
tell with the
sequence.
gloves and shit because they had the chalkboard in there.
Yep.
What's happening now, Ralph?
Now we're seeing the museum atop the Queen of Freedom Monument, and the Riddler is waiting to collect the ransom that Batman, in quotes, told Commissioner Gordon and Bruce Wayne to put in a certain place at a certain time.
And the Riddler still thinks Batman and Robin are dead?
Yes.
So that's why they've got the upper hand in the
Exactly,
situation.
and that's why he knew he could send his Batman in there easily without fear of being exposed, because he knows the real Batman is dead.
What is the girl's name again?
Mousy.
I think Mousy knows that it's about to come crumbling
I
down.
don't think so.
Does
I think she
Mousy
thinks
go to
all the
jail
money's in here
with the rest of
They
them?
all do. All the baddies go to jail.
Even Mousy?
Even Mousy.
Batman's like, no, we take her back to the atomic pile and we throw her in because lady criminals
Because I hate
never learn.
women.
They'll never learn.
What squeals louder than a caught rat? Not a cotton rat. Jesus, with the subtitles
Is
on
that
this
what it was?
episode.
It's
Yes,
a caught rat.
A caught rat, not a cotton rat.
I've been out riddled. What screams louder than a caught rat? Fucking my fist up your ass, Riddler.
Several caught rats.
Justice. I'm what is it? I'm vengeance.
Vengeance.
No. Somebody needs to
Here we go.
Cut some of these
This is why you
Riddlers.
can't get that poster.
Oh shit, then you know there's more than one. They got to be able to duplicate that image. Or you can hire somebody to paint that, man.
Yeah.
Like my man Wonder Bros Mike up there.
Yeah.
Like he did the Bad News Bears painting. He did the painting of us. It was fucking Patrick
SpongeBob.
and SpongeBob.
Yeah.
You know he can paint you that.
I love that. But that's a picture, man. That's a photo.
Totally. But he can paint you. Look at how photorealistic that fucking Bad News Bears is.
yeah.
Gift idea for our 10-year Babble anniversary. Oh, that passed. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, well. 20.
20, gift idea. I was like, here it is, Ralph. I don't care about Batman
Who are you?
anymore. All I care about is living another day. So
Here you go.
old.
Here's your fight, Kevin. The thing you hold so
Finally.
dear.
Look at
the
did you
violence
see fucking Batman take the Riddler down?
into a
A
desk.
table, and then
crash.
turn around and start beating the kid in the hoodie and shit. All these kids in their hoodies. They should be so easy to defeat, man. All you
Yeah,
have to do
they're
is pull
rats.
look at her.
Yeah, she's
Now
just
she's cucking it out. She's like, I love watching fucking men
getting a lady
fight.
boner.
Yeah, it's so hot. Whoever's left.
Look at that throw.
Takes me on. That
Threw him
was,
across the room.
that was pretty impressive.
Yep.
Like, look at that. That kick was nice too. Oh shit.
Stars.
I don't think I
Literally
ever saw that
stars.
effect before, and I
Really?
don't think they ever did it after this. The wow wow wow. There's no bam or biff or pow.
Nope.
Just a cartoony graphic. Look at that, man. He's just like giving it up. It's like, well done.
They
Justice.
caught Mousy. See, I told you she's going away.
Well, of course they caught her. She got the loudest jacket in the world. I'll
doing
never
time.
understand why girls like you get involved in things like this. Kicks, I guess. I've been looking for them ever since I dropped out of high school.
See? Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Look, she's grabbing his dick. She's cupping his balls. Everyone's like looking on.
Everybody's averting their eyes.
She got so close she could have been like, clearly it's Bruce Wayne.
Stop it. She doesn't know Bruce Wayne.
Who the fuck don't know Bruce Wayne? Billionaire. Is he a millionaire in the show?
He's a millionaire. Yeah,
a mere millionaire.
Millionaire playboy. The Wayne Manor.
So wait, is that it for the
There
Riddler?
she is.
Oh, fucking, there's the money shot right there.
Well, I'm off.
God, she reminds me of my grandmother so much.
She has some friends from out of town.
If she,
Yeah, she does.
If she would call Alfred Dixie, because that's what she called my grandfather, Dixie,
Dixie.
because his boxing name was Kid Dixie, even though he was from fucking New Jersey.
Same.
And he was not. There was no
Virginia?
like, we love the fucking stars and bars. There was no connection. I guess he just went down there to box because he named his first kid Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
You might have tied it all up. In any event, fucking, when I look at that lady, all I see is my grandma calling fucking that dude Dixie. My grandfather called my grandma Kaiser. Like,
As in Kaiser Wilhelm?
yeah. Like, called her, shut up, Kaiser. Well, not shut up. They didn't say that in those days. But that's it.
That's it. Dick goes back to his schoolwork.
You know, yeah, man. Is it Jervis Tetch?
Jervis Tetch.
Who plays
Mad Hatter.
Who plays the Mad Hatter?
David Wayne.
Who is that?
David Wayne? Who's that?
Yeah. Other than the Mad Hatter.
Big star of Broadway and film.
What would I have known him from other than Batman?
Did you ever see an old TV series called Ellery Queen?
Yeah.
With Jim Hutton?
Yeah, the boat thing, right?
Yeah. David Wayne played his father in that series.
I mean, wow. I guess famous enough, right?
Yeah. At the time, he was a recognizable name.
I loved fucking Mad Hatter when I was a kid.
Great episode. There's several great Hatter episodes.
It's
the first one's great.
Pop up with the boo boo boo.
My mesmerizer.
Oh my god, so damn good.
That's the one coming up next isn't the one that people remember. It's a good one, but the one they remember most is when he irradiates Batman's cowl to try to get him to take it up and turns it pink. Yeah.
What did they do for that?
They spray painted a cow pink.
That was it.
Yep. And then they painted it again to reuse it. So someone owns the pink cow, but you can only see the pink sort of through the paint that is chipped off of the repaint job. So
it's fucking crazy. They just had no idea there'd be a whole industry that were like, I will pay you tens of thousands of dollars for that.
For that piece of crap that you had sitting in the back of the prop
room. That you
room.
repainted 3 times.
Yeah.
Boy, that was fucking educational. We learned a thing or two. We asked questions because it was an episode about the Riddler.
See? It all ties in.
He asked questions, and we learned that some riddles, just like life, kids,
Don't get answered.
don't get answered. You don't get all the answers you're looking for.
But we'll give you the answer here. The answer is the letter E.
Is that true?
The beginning of eternity, the end of time, end of every race. Letter E is the answer to that riddle.
When did you figure that shit out?
When I was a kid.
No way. I call bullshit. We're not even live, and I heard the audience call bullshit on that one.
I mean,
when
not
I was
a little
kid,
but I was like 12 or 13.
Bullshit.
It's true. It haunted me. That always haunted me in that episode.
That's why it took
They make
you
a big
25
deal-
years
they
to
made
figure
a big
that
deal
out.
out of that riddle, and it's never paid off in either episode. It just hangs there. So after the 20th, 30th time of watching the reruns, I made it a point to try to figure it out.
And how'd you do that exactly?
I wrote it down. I copied it down from the show, and I stared at it, and I stared at it, and I stared at it, and I said,
No way!
it's such a way.
What happened was Google was invented.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And then maybe Ask
How
Jeeves.
dare you?
And then you fucking
take
typed
away
it
my
in,
personal achievement of
the riddle,
solving a
and
riddle.
It spit out fucking time. No, what is it?
What is the beginning of eternity,
An E.
the end of all time, the finish to every race, and then there's a fourth part of it I can't remember.
And it's just the letter E.
the letter E, yes.
The letter E. The letter E, Ralph Garman. There's no way I'm ever going to fucking believe
If
that in childhood
fuckers
you
on
figured it
Reddit
out.
in 24
Unless-
hours could figure out the goddamn Matt Reeves
live in the
rhyme, you
goddamn
don't
computer
think
age.
I could do it?
No, not as a fucking
If I
young
showed you
man.
written down that riddle and you looked at it long enough, if I gave you 2 hours, you would figure it out.
You're out of your mind. I don't have that kind of brain.
Well-
otherwise I'd be fucking Batman.
That's why maybe I'm Batman. You don't know.
I mean, maybe. But I just think that you're confusing. You're getting old, so you're confusing
Oh, how dare you,
your
sir.
times. And this is just something that, like, oh yeah, I forgot. You're gonna come back next week and be like, I forgot. I was working at K-Rock when a riddle guy came through with a book.
Oh, one of
and
those riddle guys who came on to promote his riddle book. You know how we used to book all those riddle guys on the show because they were so entertaining?
7:30 on a Friday at K-Rock.
Coming up next, we got
we
the
just
riddle
had
guy.
My Chem just dropped their latest. This is a hot fucking track. Next up, sorry, we don't curse. Beep. Next up, Ralph, who are we talking to today?
Kevin, I'm glad you asked. We got a riddle guy who's
Again?
he's got a new riddle book
Ralph,
out. No, this time he's got a new riddle book.
Every week with a riddle guy.
No, this guy he's got a new riddle book, and he's finally going to answer that age-old riddle: what is the beginning of eternity and the end of all time, the finish to every race? And the
then a voice comes
Oh,
from
and the end of every rhyme. I think it is.
A voice comes from over your head, and it's just like, Kev, I don't think Ralph understands that nobody cares about this shit or about this kind of thing. And then you turn to yell at the monitor that contains Bean. What?
What do I yell at him?
Yeah. What the? Didn't you fucking go to like ad-lib school or some such shit?
I was
improv boy.
I was not.
Holy shit! You pass a motherfucker the ball, and he's like
scenario
freezing up like Cindy Brady when the camera goes on, just terrified.
I was not clear on the scenario that you had painted.
Gotta be faster than that, my friend. In comedy, like where'd you study again?
The Acme Comedy Theater.
They didn't pull you aside at Acme and be like, "Hey, if you stare dumbfounded for like 10 seconds, the improv falls."
Well, my
apart.
other improvisers were giving me clearer scenarios to work with. And then you turn and stare, and there's a monitor, and there's a monitor and a guy, and then it's Bean, and then what? And then fucking go.
You know, people have improv on less. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There it is, kids. Good times.
Stay in school. That's our motto.
What?
Because Mousy was bad because she dropped out of high school.
Oh my God, that's your takeaway from both of those episodes?
Yes.
It's not
It was
bad.
when I was a kid. It's like, oh, Mousy was looking for kicks because she didn't stay in high school.
That'd be the kind of thing that was like my wife, like Jennifer's takeaway. Like if I showed her those 2 episodes and shit, and I'd be like, "What's your takeaway?" She'd be like fucking, you know, I wasted an hour. I'd be like, "Why do you say that?" She'd be like, "Because there's one girl, 2 if you count Aunt Harriet, and you know, she was a schoolgirl gone wrong."
Right. And what happens to girls who don't stay in high school? End up in the sewer.
Oh my God,
Eating
so right.
old cheese with dudes in leotards.
Literally.
So that's
And
a good
hoodies.
lesson to learn.
Wearing those hoodies like tightened up around their
Exactly.
heads, like they're doing performance art and shit. You're surrounded by pathetic dudes in hoodies, so much so that when a pathetic dude in a leotard comes through, you're like, well,
It's better than what I was dealing with.
Yeah, fucking-
to move up.
straighten up, fuck it, let's do it. I wonder if his dick's shaped like a question mark. Let's find out. Zip.
Peyronie's disease.
No.
Just a regular old exclamation point like everybody else.
Fuck. I should have stayed in school. Good point. That is the episode. Moral of the episode.
It's the moral of many episodes.
Stay in school?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's another one with the Joker, with the Bad Penny Gang. That's another one. Stay in school.
Why with the Bad
Don't
Penny
cheat.
Gang?
Don't cheat either.
The Bad Penny Gangs, they were all made up of like 11-year-olds.
No, they were high school dropouts and ne'er-do-wells hanging out at the candy shop.
As adults,
Yes.
still dressed like kids,
Sure.
like the fucking like the Bowery Boys.
Yeah, in the 60s, they had no problem putting 30-year-olds in sweaters and saying they were high school students.
So much so that when I was a kid, I was like, apparently that's a thing. When you grow up, you can still dress like a child, and it's what I did for the rest of my fucking
That's
life.
true. You took that to heart, didn't you?
What were they? What is it? The Dead End Kids?
Dead End Kids, yeah.
Bowery Boys?
Same thing.
Fucking hated that when I was a kid. Whenever I saw it come on, like fucking WOR Channel 9, I was like, oh my God, I hate this.
Hunts Hall, Leo Gorcey.
I was a child, and I'm like, they're meant to be closer to my age, but they're older than my dad,
Yes.
and in black and white. And this is not a cartoon. Where's Batman?
There's a lot
Fuck
of
this
talking,
show. Oh
no
my!
costumes.
I should give it a shot now.
No, you shouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, it It doesn't.
You don't
age
think it'll
well.
be like, oh my God, like this hits me in a way. Like I used to not like country music, and then my dad died, and I'm like, oh, country music, because it reminds me of my dad.
Right.
So maybe there's a chance I roll some Hunts Hall, takes me back to 21 Jackson Street with my old man when he was like, this is funny, which it wasn't.
It isn't. Yeah.
But that was his jam growing up.
Yeah. He was probably looking at it through the eyes of nostalgia because they were what he watched in the theaters probably when he was a kid.
It's so true.
But it doesn't really hold up. It's not like Abbott and Costello or some of those classics that are still.
Their whole thing was just like, we're fucking 40 and we're dressed like kids.
Yeah.
And we're delinquents, see? But we're also good guys, and we're going to figure some stuff out here.
It's kind of what it
What
was.
are you doing? What's going on here?
Oh my God, there's your Hunts Hall.
It's just ridiculous.
How often do you get to rock a Hunts Hall?
Not very often.
Ralph, of course, as we know, for all if you're a Ralph Report listener, or even if you're a Babble-On listener, is a single man now.
Yes.
So I was going to suggest that when you finally do get to hook up in a post-COVID environment,
Yeah. Bring out my Hunts Hall impression.
you got to fucking
That's the closer.
as you climax. You
I
gotta
like it.
you got a Hunts Hall.
Chief, I'm coming, Chief. Yeah, I don't think that's
That'd be
really going to work
amazing.
for anybody.
And then you'd have to explain that reference.
Yeah.
Or even scarier, you don't have to explain the reference because she's older than you and gets it.
That's an excellent Hunts Hall, dearie.
Oh, you make me wet like I was in the 50s again with hearing Hunts Hall. Then maybe that's the reaction I'll have, is like get a hard on and shit.
Yeah.
Like a young man hard on.
Maybe.
Rock solid. No, I know it will happen. When you're gone, I'll roll it on YouTube.
Okay.
After about 30 seconds, I'm going to have the same feeling, which is like, I wish Bugs Bunny was on instead.
Yes, you will.
I'll go watch
Yes,
Bugs
you will.
Bunny.
You'll realize you lost nothing by not watching it as a
Oh
young
my
man.
God. And the great sad irony, Ralph, is that Jay and Silent Bob, modern day Hunts Hall, and fucking
Leo Gorcey?
yeah, modern day Bowery Boys will be forgotten as well.
That's funny.
I am doomed to become that which I mocked as a child. My mom always said when she was a kid, she couldn't say shit, because it's a curse.
Right.
So they would say, "Oh, sugar diabetes," and my grandmother said, "Like if you say that, you're going to marry somebody with that one day." And she married one of the biggest diabetics that ever hit Central New Jersey. My dad.
See?
Yeah.
Can't
so
put that shit out in the world, man.
you can't. Well, you can't fuck with Jesus. I think that's what Grandma was getting at.
Right.
She's
Well,
like, because Jesus is like, oh, is that what you want? As if Jesus is like a bitchy teen from Mean Girls.
I'll fuck you up.
Yeah. You can't make fetch happen. And the Lord's like, I'm going to make it
Stop
happen.
trying to make sugar diabetes happen, Jesus. It's not gonna
Schwam.
happen.
And then she just has to deal with it.
Yeah.
We took you into our lives. We took you into Batman. Now we're not going to take you home.
That's on you.
Yeah. It's you
Closing time. You don't have to stay here, but you
gotta
don't have
get
to go home,
that
but you can't stay here.
fuck up out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. It was a good time. Good time. Wasn't as, fucking no car horn, so it was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, I know.
What we ought to do is pay my kid like $10 while we record. Go out there and just lay on the horn every few minutes.
Neighbors will love you.
Yeah, they're used to it.
I wonder if anybody was bothered watching those other films. While
Telling
it
you,
was
if I
going
came
on.
to see the David Arquette movie, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Unless I was listening to that shit in my car at high volume. Because then at that point,
you're
a lot of horns.
not hearing those horns.
It's true. I wonder if we should find out if anybody asked for like, hey man, I want a rebate. 'Cause all I heard were horns during it and stuff.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that, but boy, did it feel goddamn delightful.
Somebody said they were listening in their car, which is not a good idea to listen to that show in your car. He said his head kept craning around because every time the horns would go off, he thought somebody was behind him or going to crash into him from another lane.
That's pretty funny. Do not listen to that most recent episode of Hollywood Babble-On in traffic, the 10th anniversary show.
It's not safe.
Here, I'll give you a little tip before we get out of here.
Ooh.
I just watched on HBO something might be of interest to you as a fellow from the tri-state area.
Yes.
A documentary called Class Action Park. All about Action Park.
Oh, the legendary Action Park, the most dangerous amusement park
Did
in the
you ever
world.
go back in the day?
Never did. No.
Oh my God, your family kept you from fucking trucking down
A
to
little too
Jersey.
far north for us.
Would that be north? You're in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. Wouldn't it
Yeah.
be down?
No, because Pennsylvania's right near South Jersey,
Yeah.
And Action Park was up towards North Jersey, towards the big city.
My geography is like just fucking.
Yeah, I recognized that on the last show when you asked if we were near Disneyland. We were in the city of industry.
I have no sense of direction. Yeah, man, Action Park I went to in childhood.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a
Great Adventure was as far as I got when it came.
I went there many times too. Fucking loved Great Adventure. It's a good doc, worth watching. I'd seen
awesome.
They pulled a lot of footage of an interview with the owner's son from a YouTube documentary they did a few years ago. So I'd seen a bunch of that interview stuff there. But they talked to people, kids that worked. The kids, they're all fucking adults now.
Yeah.
That worked at the park though, and the picture they painted took me back to my childhood. It was just run by kids. You never really saw like a grown up.
Any reasonable adults in control.
It was kind of like Caddyshack, to a large degree, but way more dangerous because they were just making rides. Like they killed people at that park, not intentionally, but people lost their fucking lives. One person got electrocuted in the fucking kayak boats. 3 people drowned in the fucking wave pool.
Yeah.
One dude went flying off the Alpine slide and fucking busted his head open. He died. Like they lost fucking lives there, man.
Yeah.
But like they kind of put out in the documentary, that was kind of the attraction of going in the 80s. Like, oh my God, like you could.
Danger.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? Something like if your kid said to you today, I want to go to fucking Disneyland because there's a 30% chance I'm going to get hurt really badly, you'd be like, no.
Or you have a friend who drives on the California freeways without wearing a seatbelt. It would be like that. You'd say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Didn't realize I was doing a podcast with my fucking father and my mother. Fuck.
All comes full circle.
It really does. Just like my dad and my mother, which is how I got here. Over 51 years ago, he came full circle into my mom with a full circle thrust. Pulled all the way back, and he was just like, I'm so close. I just got to land one more hit. If I could just slam it as far back as I can. Bang! And suddenly, I started a journey. Me! Amongst many other fucking of my siblings. And I was like, I will win. Last time I ever exerted myself, clearly.
Pushing your way to the front.
Holy shit. And it must have been like something happened up at the front. Like fucking, like the whole team got wiped out. And I'm the guy who's coming up in the end. I'm like the president in fucking Battlestar Galactica where they're like, everyone else has died. You're in charge.
You're the only one left.
Let's do this. And then here we are. Thanks for being here with us, ladies and gentlemen. But man, oh man, got to give it up for the guy who makes it interesting each and every time. He sure knows a lot about this show, and that's why we're doing the Caped Commentaries. Give it up for the great Ralph fucking Garman.
And let's hear it from my bestest Babble buddy, Mr. Kevin Smith.
And that is Hollywood Babble-On for this week, man. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Babble the fuck off. Good night, Hollywood and Gotham City.
Wear your seatbelts.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.